What's up everyone? My name is Caroline from Habitsinprogress.com, which is where you'll learn to achieve your goals one habit at a time. In this video, I'm going to show you how to stay focused using the Pomodoro Technique. This means that you'll easily triple your productivity by using this technique. Yep, you've heard this right. You're gonna get some real productivity gold nuggets. I used to struggle a lot with procrastination and I was often very unproductive even though I tried my best. But when I found the Pomodoro Technique, all of a sudden productivity became so easy. So let's dive in. In order to apply these tips right away, you'll need my free Pomodoro worksheet, which I'll link in the description down below. So before you continue watching, make sure you'll download it right now. So what is the Pomodoro Technique? It's in fact a pretty simple system. You work for 25 minutes without interruption, and after that you take a 5-minute break. So 25 minutes is just enough to remain focused, and it's also a much smaller hurdle than if you just have an 8-hour workday in front of you. So you can basically chunk your tasks down into small 25-minute sections, and that will help you to deal with procrastination and finally start working. The founder, Francesco Cirillo, he's Italian, and he used a tomato-shaped kitchen timer to track his time. So that's where the name comes from, because Pomodoro in Italian means tomato. It's that simple. Okay, so there are 4 steps to really get the most out of the Pomodoro Technique. Number 1, you need to decide which task to work on first and write it down on your Pomodoro worksheet. So if you haven't gotten it yet, download it right now. The link is in the description. In order to do that, you need to decide which tasks are most important to get done during that day, and you start with the super most important one. So write that down as the first task in your list, in your worksheet, and then think about how much time this will realistically take. So break it down into Pomodoros, into 25-minute sections, and then write down how much it takes. So for instance, if you think a project or a task will take 2 hours to complete, these are 4 Pomodoros, so you write 4 in the designated section of your worksheet. Number 2, set the timer for 25 minutes. Now I use a very simple timer on my phone. Not sure if you can see that, but it's really just set for 25 minutes, and then I start it and it counts down. So that's the simplest way to do it. But there are also a number of apps that you can use. I'll also link them in the description so that you can check them out. This is all a matter of preference. The important thing is that you know when 25 minutes are up and that you can take your break. During those 25 minutes, it's very important to really stay focused. So you're gonna work for 25 minutes without getting up from your desk, without checking your phone, without daydreaming for 20 minutes, without, going to the restroom. You're just gonna work for 25 minutes straight. So what's most important for me is to really put my phone away. So I always have it somewhere, either it's on my desk but with the screen facing downwards so that I don't see any notifications popping up, and it's obviously on mute, or sometimes I even put it into another room so that I really don't have access to it or don't get tempted. Another thing that I like to do is to refill my water glass, because it's always important to stay hydrated. So I do that during a 5-minute break so that I don't have to get up during a Pomodoro. And another thing that's really crucial is if thoughts pop up in your head that are unrelated to the task that you're currently working on, just write them down somewhere. This often happens to me when I start daydreaming or when I lose track a little. I get very creative and lots of ideas pop up in my head that I still have to do or that I should check out, or even things to put on my grocery list. So what I'll do is that for instance, if I remember that I have to get something from the grocery store, I'll just quickly take my phone, put it on the grocery list, and then put it away again without looking at anything else. Or if I have another idea that I should pursue in my business that I should work on for a future video, I have a number of different worksheets in my Google Drive folder. So I'll just take the respective one, and I'll write the idea down. This way it's out of my head and I can continue staying focused on my task. Number 3, once the alarm goes off, you can take your 5-minute break. So here again, I use my timer on my phone. I have a 5-minute timer that I pre-scheduled and I started, so here it goes. So during those 5 minutes, you can do whatever you want pretty much. And to be honest, I often scroll through my phone, through any social media feed or notifications or whatever. This is actually not the best way to use your 5 minutes. So learn from me and use your breaks in a more refreshing way. So what's better to do is to get up from your desk, do some chore in your house, or get something to eat, to drink, go to the restroom, just anything where you need to move. You can also take a very quick walk around the block of 5 minutes, or go out in your yard, or whatever you like. But the best way to use those 5 minutes is to actually get up from your desk and refresh your brain. And another thing that I really like is that you get to tick off that Pomodoro in your worksheet, and that is the most satisfying feeling ever, isn't it? And then number 4, once you finished 4 Pomodoros, you get to take a longer break. So you have to test that out for yourself, but ideal would be a break of about 30 minutes. So this could be your lunch break, or for me it's often a walk with my dog Baloo, or anything else that you want to do. So just make sure that you take a longer break. And for me personally, a lot of my tasks actually take me 4 Pomodoros. So this is really good to actually finish that thing. For instance, writing a blog post that often takes me 4 Pomodoros, and then I'm done with that. And so I also get to tick off the whole task in the worksheet. I really love to tick off things, I don't know about you, but I love that, and it's always so motivating to keep going. Okay, so these were the 4 steps that you'll need to apply to stay focused using the Pomodoro technique. And you'll soon realize that if you use those steps as I described, your productivity will shoot through the roof. So if you apply this technique during a 8-hour workday, for instance, you'll probably get 2 to 3 times as much done. Because normally during an 8-hour workday, we're maybe productive for 3 hours, maybe 4. So that's the average. The rest is breaks, coffee chats, whatever else you're being distracted by. So it's very rare that people are focused for more than 3 or 4 hours in an 8-hour workday. So either you get those 4 hours done, for instance, if you're self-employed, you can get this work done in 4 hours, or probably even more. You'll get more than this whole day of work done in 4 hours, and then you're off for the rest of the day. Or if you have to stay at the office for 8 hours, you can, for instance, get the most important tasks done in the morning, and then you can take a more relaxed afternoon, or you can always be sure to leave on time. So there's really no more over hours required if you can apply this technique as I just described. And it's really simple, right? I mean, it's nothing complicated about this. It's just discipline. And it's really important that you make it a habit. As soon as you start working, you set your timer for 25 minutes. After 25 minutes, you take your 5-minute break, and after 4 Pomodoros, you take a longer break. So if you make that into a habit, it will become much easier to really stick to it. Now, if you'd like to learn more about the Pomodoro technique, or if you feel like there's something missing, this was a bit too short for you, I'll link 3 blog articles from Habitsinprogress.com in the description down below that go much deeper on this technique. And each blog post covers one aspect of this technique, so I'm sure you'll find something for your specific situation. Also, don't forget to download my free Pomodoro worksheet, also linked in the description, so that you really get to boost your productivity and your time management right now. Alright, that's it for this video. If you've gotten any value out of it, make sure to hit that like button and also hit subscribe to learn more about how to get better habits and a better mindset. If you've got any questions or requests for other videos, make sure to leave it in the comment section down below and I'll definitely get back to you. Until next time, keep those habits progressing. Bye bye!